News breaking out of the SEC today. I had to go ask Grok, is it bullish? The answer is yes. I'm going to explain why. The co-CEO of Kraken saying crypto is about to rally. I want to explain what he's talking about right there. I want to look at altcoin momentum on the weekly chart. I want to look at Ethereum on the monthly and the daily because we're having a nice little move on altcoins. We might have a nice roadmap for the Ethereum charts that just kind of sets up what might be in store in the short term for altcoins. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're not in our intelligence system, please go check us out in the link below. We have the free trial still going on right now. This is a dog risk score, a very low 19. So let's jump into the video. What is this? SEC did something and I simply said, why would the SEC ask this? Is it bullish? Because I'm not going to pretend like I knew right off the bat, but here it is. The SEC has asked issuers of Litecoin, XRP, Solana, ADA, and Doge ETFs to withdraw their 19B4 filings following the approval of the generic listing standards, which replaced the need for those filings. So it reads bullish, but I didn't want to pretend like I knew exactly what was going on here. But Eleanor says, I'm told withdrawals could start happening as soon as this week. And here's the explanation. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it puts it very simply. Yes, this is generally considered bullish for these assets in the broader crypto ETF space. By dropping all prior delay notices and moving to generic standards, the SEC has cleared the path for final decisions on at least 16 such ETFs in early to late October 2025, potentially leading to launches soon after. So this is what this is all about. And this is really like these ETFs being kind of expedited, getting rid of this 19B4 filing process that was in play. And now that we have these generic listing standards, you can see how October is lining up very nicely for altcoin ETFs. It's crazy because we've just been talking nonstop about all of the bullish, all of the bullish headlines. It could be pro crypto legislation, the Genius Act that got passed, the market structure bill that's going to get passed. We have the business cycle that is so in play that it's turning bullish for risk on assets like crypto. And we have this. This is the altcoin ETF story, the altcoin ETF headline, everybody. This is so bullish right now. And then we get just different perspectives. This is the co-CEO of Kraken, Arjun Sethi. All of crypto is about to rally, and the reason isn't what most people think. Despite the volatility, crypto investment flows from private investors are still at 2022 levels. Still at 2022 levels. In crypto today, we have stablecoin velocity breaking records, tokenization experiments scaling from pilots to real markets, custody, compliance, and institutional adoption moving faster than most expected, volumes and new user entry points growing again. And there's that institutional adoption. Altcoin ETFs we're about to get a cascade of approvals. Put simply, we're sitting at 2022 levels of private investment supporting 2025 levels of adoption. History shows that when an ecosystem holds its floor through downturns, the snapback is violent. We saw this in SaaS post 2016 and AI after 2020. Crypto is setting up the same way now. Will rally. So I just want to say, the co-CEO of Kraken, Arjun, I agree with his sentiment and what he's saying right here. Because if you go look at the altcoin market cap, it's a visualization of what he's saying. It's like we have this compression, and I've been saying compression, suppression of the crypto markets with incredible adoption happening right now. And so that coiling, that compression can only last so long is what he's saying, really. And right now we are at this area of breakout area. We've talked about the potential for downside. I don't want to repeat myself because it really is. I repeat myself because look at this. This is a weekly chart going back to July. Look at this compression right here on the weekly alone at this lower high area. So as opposed to repeating myself, what I do want to do is I just really briefly want to draw your attention to a momentum piece of data. And that is another way to visualize this compression that is happening and why it's even more bullish, I think, than last cycle setup as we were testing all-time highs then. Because you can see we're testing all-time highs right here last cycle in February 2021. The momentum oscillator on this RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator, was basically topping out at that moment. We were in a series of higher highs and higher lows, to that area. Right now, this cycle has been so compressed that we are at lower high areas. We have so much upside. It's insane for the altcoin market cap charts and just crypto markets in general. So if we get this move through this trend line eventually, and we start making a momentum move into overbought territory, you can see how right now, considering we're at all-time high areas, we are in even a more powerful play than we were last time, testing all-time high areas at all-time high RSI areas, right? Overbought areas. So the move has not happened yet, and this is what we're preparing for. So I want to look at Ethereum analysis, and what I want to do is I want to kind of go to iTrust real quick to just speak to something. This is important if you're a macro investor. Shout out to itrustcapital for sponsoring this video today. But they've recently, I don't know if you saw this, their staking is live. So Ethereum staking is live. You can earn rewards on your crypto within your crypto IRA. We already talk about the crypto IRA, buying and selling crypto, making trades on the macro within your IRA, tax-free, all the benefits there. But now they have staking rewards. And this is a lot due to all of the pro-crypto legislation that we're getting. They are allowing now for innovative products to expand and grow in US markets. itrustcapital is an insane example of that. So stake your Ethereum and Solana right now in your crypto IRA. Fund your itrustcapital account with eligible staking asset to auto earn rewards. And your earnings automatically accrue and will be returned to you upon unstaking. So another added benefit, if you're a macro investor, another good reason to go set up your account with itrustcapital. And I don't know for sure, but I imagine that these are the two first cryptos. I could see Cardano being on here very easily, and maybe that's something that will be on their roadmap soon too. But everybody, go set up an account if you don't have one. If you're a macro investor, a lot of good reasons to do that, and their website explains a lot. Hit the link below to do that. So going over to Ethereum analysis, this is what we're looking at. It's the monthly chart, and then I'm going to go into the daily to kind of get a sense of, where to be careful in this current move that's happening, because there's definitely reason to be careful. But what I wanted to point out to you on the monthly is this. This plays a little bit into our analysis that we just looked at on the altcoin market caps. But look at this insane, again, compression on the Ethereum chart on the weekly or on the monthly. This has been obvious in terms of the analysis that we've had. We went into this massive April capitulation. We're in the middle of this busted pattern playing out with a bull market in store. But what I wanted to show you, similar to the momentum on altcoin charts, is what Ethereum is doing. Check out the stock RSI. We don't use it all of the time, but it's a quicker moving momentum oscillator. Just now kind of entering overbought territory. It's very similar to the move of momentum Ethereum had back here in June 2020. What's notable for this is this was the very beginning of Ethereum's bull market move. And so we have a similar thing playing out right now, the very beginning of a power move. You might be like, well, it's overbought. That's concerning. This is a quicker moving momentum oscillator. It gets there quick, but just look at how it can just hang there for a while, right? And not only that, we could start falling, and it's kind of like a leading indicator when that starts happening. Long story short, this move can be extended for a while before it even gets to a bear market environment. So this is the beginning of a move. This is a very nice leading indicator for Ethereum's move. But then you look at a slower moving momentum oscillator, right? When that is happening. Here's the RSI. Now that's really illustrating last cycle, all the upside that's in play. And there it is, right? The bull market for Ethereum. Well, look at where we are right now. It's like almost identical. Whether we have another month of consolidation, 2 months of consolidation, everybody. The Ethereum chart is just getting started. And this time around, we're not at, this area back here, still a ways away from all-time high. We're hovering at all-time high area. And this has been the slow extended growth of the crypto cycle this time around, illustrated very nicely on the Ethereum chart. If you go look at Ethereum right now on the daily, we've not hit the target to the downside. We got kind of close, which is this general just $3,600 area. You can just see we wicked down to like $3,800. but we've not hit it yet. And I just want to say, maybe we don't hit it, but it is in play. So basically we broke out of that triangle. Right now though, we have a very typical pullback to not only the apex, but what's also important is this 20-day falling below the 50-day. So that green below the blue, we're pulling back to that area. This is often the case, whether we're, pulling back to the downside, like to test it for support, or we're testing it for resistance. So right now, what I would be watching for to confirm a really nice bullish reversal is a break above the moving averages. And that's just about 4,400 down to like 4,300. If Ethereum starts breaking above that area and closing daily candles above, that could be a very bullish sign. Now, if we get resistance, just be careful. Maybe the first couple weeks of October are just bearish and people are getting really bearish because we're putting in a lower low, but we're just hitting the target to the downside. We're just retesting the apex of this massive multi-year triangle on Ethereum. If this happens, pay attention to altcoins, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's other altcoins, whether it's really low cap value plays like DOG, which is one of my favorites. We could fall into this area of incredible opportunity, very low risk opportunity. So to give you a visualization, DOG right now is already low risk. It's at 19 in our risk model. And if you just look back in the April swing low, it fell to, if I zoom in here, it fell to a 8. But previous swing lows, you can see it fell to a 21, a 20. That previous swing low back here, it fell to a 23. We are in that range right now. The DOG bottom looks almost like it's in, and if it's not, it looks like it'll be in within the next couple of weeks, and the next couple of week window seems to be a massive opportunity for DOG, which has incredible upside. I'm just going to do a quick analysis. I think a very realistic target is 4 billion for DOG. From where we sit right now, we're looking at almost 2,000%. But beyond that, the realistic targets for this meme coin value play that sits on Bitcoin, the most decentralized play, the upside is too bonkers at this level for me to even talk about. I realistically think it can happen, but I probably won't really talk about it in videos until we're at $1 billion market cap at least, and people can start digesting that. But if you see what I see right now, then you already know what I'm talking about. So altcoin markets is my point, whether it's DOG or not, whether it's, Cardano, Ethereum, Solana, if we go lower, right, after maybe hitting some resistance on the short term, or even just start falling now, just watch the risk scores and watch the momentum oscillators. It could be a very strong area. I'm not recommending it, but a very strong area if you want to accumulate crypto at a lower risk than kind of where we've been right now. So those are my thoughts. The crypto bull market just starting. As Arjun says, all of crypto is about to rally. I agree. Whether it's this week or in a month, I do not know, but I'm tracking these markets with you. Appreciate you watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Hit that like if you enjoyed the content. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.